Curious, setting the scene. On June 12, 2026, millions of users logging into Anthropic's flagship AI models, Claude Fable 5 and Mythos 5, found nothing. The models had vanished globally without a word of warning. The U.S. Department of Commerce had invoked an export control directive. This legal maneuver treated cloud access to a digital model the same as shipping a physical weapon across a border. This directive came straight from the Trump administration. It executed a sweeping block that forced Anthropic to pull the plug for every user on Earth, including their own employees, because they couldn't verify nationalities in real time. 18 days later, on July 1st, the ban was lifted and the models came back online. But those 2.5 weeks established a new legal precedent for the entire tech sector. The trigger for this massive intervention was a single vulnerability report filed by security researchers at Amazon. They discovered a prompt technique, a jailbreak, that tricked Fable 5 into bypassing its own safety guardrails. Once past the filters, the AI identified software flaws and generated functional code demonstrating exactly how to exploit them. To the developers, this was a borderline case of routine cybersecurity work. To the federal government, generating exploit code was the active export of a cyber weapon. This single event altered how governments assess frontier AI risk. Anthropic couldn't just patch the bug and quietly flip the servers back on. They had to definitively prove to the Department of Commerce that the model was safe for public release. Their solution was a layered, defense-in-depth architecture. At its core was a new, highly aggressive safety classifier built specifically to intercept the prompting technique Amazon had discovered. This diagram illustrates their solution, a high-volume data funnel. It evaluates incoming requests and blocks the reported jailbreak technique in over 99% of cases. But catching that fraction of a percent of dangerous prompts requires a wide safety margin. The filter is tuned so aggressively that it inevitably catches normal, harmless traffic too. For software engineers, routine coding and basic debugging tasks suddenly started getting flagged as security threats. When benign requests hit this margin, Anthropic doesn't refuse them outright. Instead, as this secondary pathway shows, the system silently reroutes the task to Claude Opus 4.8. To meet federal demands, Anthropic made a permanent architectural trade-off. They chose to bottleneck the raw utility of their flagship coding model, trading convenience for top-tier national security compliance. The shockwaves from this 18-day blackout extended far beyond Anthropic's user base. It forced fierce rivals, including Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, to sit down at the same table. Together, they drafted the Cross-Industry Jailbreak Severity Rubric to standardize how cloud providers score AI security threats across 4 quadrants. First, capability gain measures how far an exploit exceeds existing cybersecurity tools. Second, ease of weaponization calculates the human effort required to execute a real-world attack. Beyond the rubric, Anthropic had to make a binding commitment to the U.S. government as a strict condition of Fable 5's redeployment. All future frontier models must undergo mandatory federal pre-release testing and safety checks. The era of tech companies moving fast and launching frontier models without federal oversight is officially over. Those 18 days in June proved that the digital kill switch is a tested administrative tool. Moving forward, national security has become the ultimate and inescapable gatekeeper for the entire future of artificial intelligence.